Morning YouTubers. Today we've been invited out to Licuson Beach, about 30 minutes from here. A friend of mine from Minnesota, from the US, lives there with his Filipino wife Judith. So Tony and Judith have invited us to spend a day and a night out at Licuson Beach. So we're just heading out of the city. Hey brother! This is no problem through this. We've arrived finally. Tess and Tony, and that's Lawrence there. Say hi YouTube.
Hey YouTube!
I don't know if you guys can read that. Nunez Beach House. Under the palm tree where there's a bit of shade, and that's our view. Good morning. There's a little outdoor area here for sitting and getting drunk, or videoke of course, one of the favoured pastimes here in the Philippines. And it's now 8:12 in the morning, so beautiful view. The water's so calm. Fortunately, there's still a rope and that boat is not going anywhere. Otherwise the kids would be out to sea. They'd just keep paddling. It's very much a fishing village here in Licuson, so hence all the boats with the outriggers. Judith's auntie owns this and she rents it out. Nunez Beach House, and it's rented out on either a daily basis or a nightly basis, so you can just pay for it for the day and come down here and spend the day at the beach with your family, or you can pay for the night. It's air conditioned, but it's literally right on the beach. You'll be able to hear the ocean and see the ocean from inside the house. Beautiful spot.
Ano, malipat ka naman pa Manila? Parehas na kita sini, wala siyang permanent address.
Just in case you don't want to bring your own alcohol, guys. Stocked up with snacks and alcohol here at the bar. There's a videoke machine here. Nunez Beach House, Licuson, Masbate Islands. Tess just organising a bottle for Kyle. Tita Judith holding Kyle. Tita Judith has a YouTube channel also, guys. Judith Baldeo Dulski. There's a link on my channel down the bottom under the videos to Judith's YouTube. She's a very good cook. That's why she's doing the cooking over here. So If you want to check out some authentic Filipino cuisine, go and check out Judith's YouTube channel. It really is a slice of paradise here. I just can't get over the scenery here. It's just so peaceful, so gorgeous. The breeze here is fantastic. You can see the flag there that's blowing in the wind. Tony's back.
I don't know what's worse, kids or dogs.
They say never work with animals or children, right? So we're working with kids and dogs here.
Normally they would follow me no matter where I go, except for today. Kept running back home.
We've changed chefs now. We have a new chef here.
That's Janae.
Janae is taking over Auntie Judith. The kids over here playing, and Tony and I are thinking about having a Jack Daniels and Coke soon. I've got the Coke in the fridge at the moment.
Okay. In the freezer?
So Judith has been cooking all morning, preparing food for us. So salamat, Judith.
Welcome.
And as I said, guys, there's a link on my channel to Judith's channel. If you want to see some authentic Filipino cuisine, just click on the link and head across to Judith's channel and check it out. Don't forget to subscribe.
Kalinik.
The girls aren't swimming, they're just watching. They've just enjoyed an afternoon in the water. It's beautiful. The water temperature is perfect. It's time that maybe we crack a Jack Daniels. If they like the short, they might say, "Oh, go and have a look at this guy's channel. Yeah. See what other shorts he's got, see what other videos he's got." Well, guys, we were just going through a power outage, which is quite typical for anywhere in the Philippines, as you know. More frequently here in Licuson, but that's life. So Tony and I are sitting here again, as I've said many times. Jack Daniels, if you'd like to sponsor my channel, Australian in the Philippines, please contact me. Send me a bottle of Jack every week. I'll get drunk and interview as many people as you like.
Or better yet, send us a barrel.
Yeah, there you go. Send us a barrel of JD, and Tony and I will both interview as many people as you like every week. You've heard a lot of my opinion, my take on things in the Philippines. While we have a brownout and the videoke machine's gone off and we can't do any singing, we might just sit here and chat to Tony. But yeah, Tony's from Minnesota. I'm from Wollongong near Sydney in Australia, as you know. So two totally different countries, two totally different foreigners. But our take on the Philippines, Tony and I seem to share a lot of the same gripes here in the Philippines. Again, please don't take me wrong and think that the Philippines is bad. It's a fantastic place to be. Beautiful country, beautiful beaches, beautiful women. Really lovely place to be.
It's just
Perfect.
getting used to a
But
different
it's
culture.
the adaptation to the culture is the hardest thing when you've come from cultures that have electricity 24 hours a day,
Yeah.
water 24/7.
Wow, what a concept.
It's difficult to adapt, and even things like McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
McDonald's here, it's the same food, but you can walk into a Macca's and find they'll say, we don't have any sausage and egg McMuffins today, sir. We don't have any quarter pounders. We don't have. They just literally the purchasing officers here don't have any foresight to order products in advance. They wait until everything's expired, done, then they order. Tony and I have had many conversations over the year that I've been here, and we seem to share a lot of the same problems. We seem to have the same issues with trying to adapt to just their way of life, the way Filipinos do things. There's nothing planned for the future here.
Yeah.
Everything is
It's
live for now,
seat of
live
your
for
pants.
today.
right at the time.
Yeah, it's very much a very laid back, slow way of life. People take it easy. There's no rush to do anything. But how long have you been here now?
5.5 years.
So Tony's been here almost 6 years, way longer than I have. So it amazes me that when we talk, we find that we have similar ideas. Education, roads,
Utilities.
utilities,
Yeah.
hospitals, medical
Yeah.
system.
Yeah.
It's all very
Yeah,
antiquated.
it's very third world, which is hard to adapt to when you're used to, especially from the U.S. You're used to the top. I live 50 miles from the Mayo Clinic, which is the top medical,
World famous.
world
Mayo
famous.
Clinic
Yeah,
is world
kings,
famous.
presidents, everybody goes to the Mayo Clinic. And here, you take your life in your own hands.
100%. As I
Knock-
explained to you guys,
knock
the
on wood,
hospital,
or-
yeah, touch wood that we'd never have to use a hospital here.
Yeah.
But as I said to you guys before in a previous video, I went with Tess and her sister to visit a cousin, a police officer here who passed away from a motorcycle accident, and the room they had him in was literally tiled floor, painted walls, a curtain, and he was on a gurney, not in a hospital bed. There was not one piece of electronic equipment in that room. He had a saline drip plugged into his hand, and that was it. He was basically brought in with internal injuries, head injuries from an accident. There was no x-rays, there was no scans, there was nothing done. He was placed on the gurney and he was left there with a saline drip to live or die. So really, you may as well be at home, right?
Yeah. The hospitals is just a place to go die.
Yeah, exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Exactly what I said. If you go to a hospital here, you just go there to die.
don't-
There's not a lot of medical assistance that's going to be provided in this country. And again, I'm not trying to bag the Philippines or put it down in any way. It's a third world country, guys. It's a very poor country. So
Yeah, they've got what they've got.
yeah, exactly. They do the best with what they can. The government here, unfortunately, as we know, is very corrupt, and most of the money goes into the politicians' pockets. It doesn't go into the system where it should be going. That's one of the main things that needs to be improved here. But schooling too, I mean, the education system, I still don't understand why the Philippines can't look at the US, look at Australia, look at Britain, look at the things that they do best and copy the system there. They don't even have to do the research. They could just implement that, or even send some people there to universities to study in the Western world, and then bring those people back to be the teachers in the universities or colleges here to teach the students here and improve the system. If you plan to come and live here, you need to be aware that there's a huge adaptation to living in this country, and you need to chill and lay back and understand that that's the way of life. You're not going to
and it's
Western.
not easy all the time.
It can be extremely difficult for guys like us who have come from countries where we're used to having everything that we need and want, at our fingertips. We can drive down the mall in a few minutes and get everything we need. Our medical system is far, far advanced than here. There's really no ambulance service here. If you call an ambulance here,
It's just the cart you to the hospital to die.
Yeah, yeah. So,
And I honestly don't know how medical insurance is here. I mean, there is medical insurance for the Filipinos, PhilHealth, which now, after being 5 years here and finally becoming a permanent resident, I am eligible for PhilHealth, but I haven't gotten it yet. And I know that there's Expat Health, but from what I'm hearing, it's really touch and go. It doesn't cover a whole lot. Everything is cash here,
Yeah.
If you go to one of the provincial hospitals, obviously it's like a county hospital, or I don't know what they have in Australia, but in the U.S. it'd be like a county hospital. But so it's a little bit more low cost, but it's low service too. Go to the private hospital and you can spend 800 a million peso, but I don't know if you're really getting a whole lot for it, except for pain. So, like I said, knock on wood, I've not had any health issues since I've been here. So I haven't had to experience that.
yeah. And to give you guys an idea of cost, a million pesos here in the US is about $18,000, I think, US. It's about 27,000 Australian dollars. So medical here can be extremely expensive. There's no free medical. And in the hospitals, as I've said before, there's no kitchens downstairs with food provided. If you go to hospital here, you need to have family that are going to turn up and feed you while you're in the hospital, or you will just starve to death in the hospital. But then you come to places like this and see the beaches, the coconut palms, the lifestyle, the videoke, people relaxing and enjoying life. As long as you're not sick and you're drinking JD, which you're being sponsored by, Jack Daniels, life is good. It's still, I mean, you've obviously stayed here for 5 to 6 years because you enjoy it here, right?
Yeah.
He loves the countryside, he loves the scenery, the lifestyle here. So, this is Tony and Judith's young guy, Lawrence.
Yeah.
Say hi, YouTube.
Now we're going to be trying. Yeah, I think the biggest thing, it's funny because I had a group of high school kids come by when we lived in the city, and they asked me as a foreigner, what it is that I didn't like about being here in the Philippines, and my biggest answer was the brownouts. Here in Licuson we have an average of 4 to 5 brownouts a day, and I mean they can last anywhere from a few minutes to several hours. I mean 10, 12 hours sometimes, and that's very frustrating. Again, Minnesota, snow, I'm a cold guy, so as soon as that aircon goes out or the fan goes out, I mean the sweat starts pouring down, and that's probably the hardest thing for me is the number of times that the electricity goes out. And I know I've talked to the mayor of our village here, and he's saying the main reason, I mean you've got wires running from bamboo poles and trees and everything, and it doesn't take much for those lines to go down. But honestly, their power plant here is just not capable of keeping up with the population that's here. And we have a rolling brownout, usually every morning for sure. But that's probably the biggest thing that really gets me is it's not just aircon and fan, it's TV, it's internet, it's lights, it's everything, and it's just so annoying. And it always seems to happen at the worst possible time. Dinner time, or you're trying to get kids to school or something, and it's very frustrating.
You see why there's a huge population here, because people have nothing else to do when the power goes off. Hence the huge population. Also, of course, there's really not a lot of contraception here. I don't think I've seen a condom machine anywhere in the Philippines. There's no, they don't believe in using condoms, or I mean, you can get the pill, but it's not common.
Yeah.
Right?
And you gotta remember, the Philippines is like 86% Catholic.
Yes.
And so they don't believe in, contraception anyway. But I don't know if they honestly really even teach sex ed or anything in the schools.
No, I was watching a video the other day on a Filipina girl called Filipina P, I think she calls herself, and she was saying the same thing. The sex education here is so below standard that the girls really don't know what they're doing. So again, it's the education system needs to be improved. We need to get into the kids' minds, and we need to educate the kids, because they're the next generation. The ecosystem here suffers badly with things like garbage being thrown into the rivers, which then flows down into the oceans. And we're here on the shore here, where you just saw all the fishing boats, and you know that this is their livelihood. Seafood is a #1 source of food in this country. Well, #2, rice is probably #1, but #2 source of food in this country is seafood. And these people are killing their own livelihood by throwing so much garbage into the rivers and creeks and waterways that goes into the ocean and destroys the fish. And there's no education here to teach the kids to say, listen, we need to take care of this in the future. Fires burning. I see where I'm living now, which is where Tony used to live. He was my neighbour 2 doors away for quite almost a year. So he knows that in the subdivision we were living in, there was constantly people burning garbage.
We had power back.
Plastic. They were burning rubber. They were burning anything they could get rid of. They just burn. The opinions I give you are all based on Masbate Island and surrounding areas. Just because I'm giving you some of the negatives, I'm just trying to educate people on what to look out for and be careful of if you're planning to come and live here in the Philippines. If you're a laid-back sort of a person, you'll have no problems living here. If you're an impatient person or you have a short temper, don't move to the Philippines, because you won't survive here. You'll be screaming and shouting every day. It's a struggling country. It's a third world country, guys. Be aware of that, and just make sure, as I said, you do your research before you come here to decide where you're going to live. Thank you again to Tony for his opinion and his time here. We're going to stop talking to you guys, and we're going to wait for Jack Daniels to sponsor my channel and send me a bottle of JD. And the rest of the night is going to be for us. We're already at 4 p.m. this afternoon. We're going to eat some good food here, some seafood. We're going to get into some barbecue chicken. We're going to enjoy the food. We're going to enjoy the company of our Filipinas. We're going to enjoy the beach views. Ate Jessa is here with her baby. She has some relatives in Australia too. So shout out to Ate Jessa's relatives in Australia, her cousin. Over there, he's an engineer working in Australia. Kuya Tony is still here on the karaoke because we're shoving him full of Jack Daniels, and we're still after sponsorship from Jack Daniels. Please, the kids are still here on the karaoke. Barrel, brother.
Yeah, barrel.
Barrel. We want a barrel of Jack Daniels. Tess is sitting here on her phone, just she's video calling with Sister Maribel. Shout out to Sister Maribel on YouTube. She's in Manila. Sister Maribel living in Manila. And Jessa is rocking the baby in the crib here. Thank you all for watching, guys. I really hope we've given you some insight into how life works here in the Philippines. And if you like our content, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up and give us the like. Also, there's a subscribe button down here in the corner, guys. Please smash that subscribe button and share our channel, because again, as you know, we've only been going for about 2 weeks. So we really need to expand this channel, grow this channel as fast as we can. And until the next video, guys, I will say, as always, peace, out. Well guys, that was our weekend in Licuson Beach near Mobo on Masbate Island. I really hope you enjoyed the content and the beautiful scenery. Thank you very much again to Tony and Judith Dulski for your hospitality. The food was fantastic. Auntie Judith is one of the best cooks here in the Philippines. Trust me on that. You know I told you to check out her channel. There's a link there. Go do that, guys. Please, if you haven't subscribed already and you're watching this, click that subscribe button in the corner. Help us grow our channel. I keep saying 2 weeks. We've actually been up and running now for 3 weeks, 21 days. Our channel's growing slowly, but we'd like it to grow faster. So if you're enjoying having a look at the Philippines here and learning about some of the pros and cons, mostly the cons I'm trying to give you guys, but just making you aware of the lifestyle and culture changes you will face if you decide to live here in the Philippines. So if you're enjoying that, please make sure you click that like button because that means a lot to us. Don't forget to share our channel and help us grow, guys. And until the next time, from an Australian here in the Philippines, I will say, peace out.